Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a collab with Dude Stuff. This one is a Christmas special, so I'm doing my side of things here with the paint, and then you're going to see this over on Dude Stuff's channel and you're going to see the crazy build come together over there. So we're in the booth and we are applying primer. Now the gun that I'm using is a DeVilbiss HD Advance on a 2mm setup. This gun's perfect for applying thick bodied paints. The air cap that's on this will give you a fan pattern of around 4 to 5 inches, so you can really get a thick pass down with this, and that's what you're aiming for when you put primer down. You want that build in the product. This had 3 coats of primer, so we had plenty of primer on there to have a block and play around with once this was baked. You can see I'm just applying it nice even passes. Looks really wet on the video screen there when you're watching it. This will flash off and dull down to like a satin sort of matte look when it's flashed off, and then you're good to apply your next coat. Just going around the shell and just getting a good coverage on this. That's all you're after, is that build, because you're going to be blocking this after and sanding it up and getting any sort of imperfections out. So just finishing off the primer now, and then we'll move on and you'll see the process that I did after it was oven baked. This is the process that I used. Sort of guide coat 180, 240, 320, finished off in 500, and then I started to paint the inside. Because the frame of the actual go-kart is black, I wanted to paint the inside of this just so it ties in, so when you look inside the shell it's just all nice and dark. Moving on to the base coat, Porsche Ruby Star Red, mixing ratio 50-50 with thinners, different spray gun. I'm using a DeVilbiss GTI Pro Light on a 1.2 for this, and just applying a wet coat, first coat all round. I did 3 coats on this, same as what I'm doing now. I just did 3 coats and then I finished off with a drop coat. Drop coat is where you will back off with the spray gun, drop your pressure down and just do an even controlled coat all the way around. So that's the base coat down. We're going to move off now to my studio, and then you'll see the airbrush work come along, and then I'll see you back in the booth in a minute. Welcome back to the booth. I hope you've enjoyed that little intro and you've seen where I got to. Started off in this booth here, prepped it all, did all the filler work. Then you see me put the primer down, 3 coats of fiberglass primer. Then after that I blocked it, guide coated it, blocked all the flat areas, and then finished off with the DA, like 500 grit disc, just to finish it off. Then we brought it in. You see the base coat colour go down. I did 3 coats of the base coat colour. That was just the first coat on the video. I did 3 coats. Then did a drop coat to finish. And then you've seen it back at the studio. We put the rear lights in. I shaped them, colour coded the rear bumper stops for the back. Put the pin lines in. Cut the holes out for the lights, test fit. Got the grill in and all the swage lines on it. So we've got it here back in the booth. So looking really nice. There's going to be number plate go on. Got the wheels with the original centre caps. There's going to be lights on this that will be working. It's going to be a full-on build with a very powerful electric motor in it. So I'm doing my side of the video, and then you're going to see the actual rest of the build come together on Steve's channel, and then you'll see go down the street in it. Probably race some cars in it because it's going to be very quick. So we're clear coating today. The clear coat we're using is Capsy 6013. I've just warmed the clear coat up, just stuck it in a jug of hot water, warmed it up. 2-to-1 mix, 0 thinners because it's nice and warm, it's flowing, it's really light. Viscosity is like really sort of thinner now. You warm it up, it's getting a little bit cold. Booth's not long been on, so it's warming up to temperature. Just let the panel warm up, get this warmed up a bit. I've given it a panel wipe down. Now you've seen in the video, if you're doing custom painting, I was using, a lot of this was solvent. When I came round to like the swage lines, these little swage lines that I put in, all this bit here, this is all solvent, so I was mixing solvent base coats. When it came to here, we've used FW acrylic inks, which have dried down okay. I tried a water-based panel wipe in the studio. I was permanently sort of like water-based panel wiping it down. The FW works great. You can panel wipe over it as long as you're not rubbing too hard. Once it's dried, you can give it a wipe over if you've been touching your panel. Not a problem. If you're using solvent degreaser, just be careful not to rub too hard over your artwork. It might slightly just pull a bit of colour out. Won't completely pull it off, just go lightly. You're best to use like a water-based degreaser, just over them bits. When I brought this back to the studio, the first thing I did do, because it's in base coat, and it had been sort of like the next couple of days since I started airbrushing it, you've got to key the surface up. Now this is a solid colour, and I just went over with a grey Scotch Brite, just literally lightly scuffed, just key the surface up, and then you can airbrush straight on top. Keep your panel nice and clean the best you can. I mean, because this has been transported, picking it up, you're moving it around, you probably don't realise while you're touching it, if you're not wearing gloves, you are putting the oils from your hands across to the panel. So give it a thorough clean down before you come to like clear coat it. Other than that, I think we're good to go. So I will stack gun this down next, which is one of these. This will take the static out because this is fiberglass. When you touch it and wipe over with a tack cloth, you're just charging it up, you're just charging the static. And what that'll do, if there's any light dust particles in the air, it'll just attract to it and stick to it. So give it a stack gun, have stick it on the cap, and we'll drop some clear coat down. See you in a minute. We're using the Deltron at the minute, and it's just dropping, it's dying back really bad. And they're saying to get a new clear cut. I reckon get the cap set. I've had never any issues with that in the studio or painting things with it. It works really well. But it's gone down really nice, first coat. Just giving this about 10 to 15 on the flash. Done a tack test. It's getting there. And drop the next coat on. Same settings. 2 bar pressure. I've got full fan. And I just dialed it in slightly. How I'm dialing it in is, put your hand on the trigger so the air's coming out, and then turn your fan adjust. As you turn your fan in, you'll see the gauge go blip. When it blips, let go of your fan setting, and you get sort of optimal setup for the gun, and it displays really nice. Just slightly closing it, not a lot, just closing it down a bit. Say 2 bar, full fluid, full fan. I'm not going full trigger on a pass. I'm sort of testing it, that's why I started here. Sort of tested it on a trigger, see how it was wetting the panel up and the speed, and then just sort of continued round. And I just slightly build this one up a little bit more, just give it a little bit more. Especially on the flats. But yeah, should look nice when it's done. So yeah, we'll get the next coat and clear down. See you in a minute. Down. A really nice finish on that, and it just pops the colours out now. When you look at the rear tail lights, they airbrushed in. You've even got the little screws on where they'd be on the actual original light. The grill's looking nice now. pops. You can just see I've done a colour just under here, because when I looked at the original grill, you've got the body colour going in shadow, so I've got the shadow and then do the grills over the top to give it that 3D look as though you're looking inside. And then your swage lines to finish, nice and simple, clean. You've got the original Porsche badge to go on the front. But yeah, it's come out nice. A couple of bits of dirt in it, but it's either here or there. When you see it outside, it's completely different. Booth lights show up everything. I've done cars before where I look at the clear cut and I think, ooh, and then when you pull it out, it's like completely different in natural light. Now that looks nice in this light, so this should look really nice when it's outside. But yeah, it's come out nice. It's just a better clear, a lot better clear than that that Deltron I've been using. It's horrendous. It really is. Nice to jump back onto a nice clear, because I'm usually used to the ones we put on the tractors, which is the PPG. It's like treacle. It just flows out so nice. It's real nice clear. It's as shiny as this, glossy as this going down. But that Deltron, I did my wife's Fiat in here, baked it, came out fine. Took it home a week later, flat. Literally went matte within a week. So it was out with a mop. You just got to polish it off, but it's just the dieback in the clear is just really bad. So I hope you enjoyed it. This little my project on my side of things. Keep your eye out. I'll leave a link to Steve's channel in the description for the Christmas special, where you'll see this hurtling down the road. I don't know what sort of speed, but you'll see it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, and I will see you back in the studio next week for more than likely a step-by-step or a review. I've got some new things coming. We're going to do some tests on and things, so be good bits for the channel. So thanks again.